history is often shaped by those bold enough to rise from the dust of defeat. From the steppes of Central Asia, a force of nomadic warriors driven by survival and ambition would rise to become one of the most influential powers in the Middle East and Asia Minor. They were known as the Seljuks, a name that would soon echo across continents. At the turn of the 11th century, the world stood at a crossroads. The Byzantine Empire, once a symbol of strength and culture, had begun to falter. But emerging from the east was a tribe of Turks who would, against all odds, transform the course of history. From humble beginnings as shepherd warriors, the Seljuks would rise to control vast regions, establishing a powerful empire with deep cultural and military legacies. How did the Seljuks, a group of nomadic Turkic tribes, evolve from mere wanderers to rulers of great territories? What was the significance of their victories in battle, particularly the pivotal Battle of Manzikert? And how did their conquest not only change the fate of the Byzantine Empire, but also shape the course of Europe and the Middle East? Today, on Legacy of History, we delve deep into the rise of the Seljuk Empire, an empire built through strategic genius, military triumphs, and the vision of leaders who understood that history could be rewritten with each victory. In 1071, the stage was set for a battle that would define the future of empires. The Byzantine Empire, once a towering force in Europe and Asia, faced a growing threat. Emperor Romanos IV Diogenes, commanding an army of roughly 30,000 men, was determined to stop the Seljuks' advances into Byzantine Anatolia. His goal was clear: reclaim control of the region and restore Byzantine dominance. But Romanos was unaware of the cunning and strategy that would soon come to define his enemies. On the opposing side was Alp Arslan, the Seljuk Sultan, a man whose reputation for military brilliance was already growing. His forces were smaller, perhaps half the size of Romanos' army, but they were mobile, disciplined, and led by a brilliant tactician. Alp Arslan knew the Byzantine strength lay in their numbers, but their weakness was their heavy reliance on traditional formations and slow-moving infantry. On the day of the battle, the terrain of Manzikert, located in present-day Turkey, proved to be an advantage for the Seljuks. Romanos, overconfident, marched his army through difficult and unfamiliar ground, placing them at a disadvantage. Meanwhile, Alp Arslan's forces employed a strategy of flexibility and speed. His cavalry, trained to fight with precision, harassed the Byzantine flanks, using lightning-fast hit-and-run tactics to weaken the Byzantine lines. Romanos tried to maintain his formation, but the Seljuk cavalry overwhelmed his forces from multiple directions. Alp Arslan's forces, utilizing encirclement and swift attacks, created confusion and panic among the Byzantine ranks. Within hours, Romanos' army was shattered. The emperor himself was captured in the chaos, humiliated, and forced to negotiate terms of peace. The Battle of Manzikert was more than just a military victory. It was a turning point in world history. The Byzantines had been defeated on their own soil, and their empire's grip on Anatolia began to slip away. The Seljuks, victorious but not without cost, had demonstrated that tactical brilliance could triumph over brute force. This victory also marked the beginning of a massive shift in the balance of power. The capture of Romanos IV was a humiliating blow to the Byzantine Empire. It would lead to internal strife and civil wars, further weakening the Byzantine hold on Anatolia. More importantly, it opened the door for Turkic migrations into the region, paving the way for the eventual Turkification of Anatolia and the rise of new states like the Sultanate of Rum. Following the stunning victory at Manzikert, the Seljuks didn't waste time. With the Byzantine forces fractured and weakened, the door to Anatolia was wide open. Turkic tribes, now emboldened by the success at Manzikert, began to pour into the region. What followed was a wave of migration and conquest, reshaping the very landscape of Anatolia. While some parts of Anatolia remained under Byzantine control for a time, the Seljuks laid the groundwork for their future rule by establishing small states, the most significant being the Sultanate of Rum. As Seljuk forces swept across Anatolia, they didn't just conquer, they also created settlements, built cities, and fortified key locations. Over the next few decades, the Seljuks would expand their territory and consolidate power. By the end of the 11th century, cities like Konya became vital centers of Seljuk authority, blending Persian culture, Turkic military traditions, and Islamic rule. This fusion would shape the cultural and political identity of the region for centuries to come. Back in Persia, the Seljuks were not just content with Anatolia, they had their sights set on even greater conquests. Under the leadership of Tughril Beg, the Seljuks forged a powerful empire, stretching from the Indus River to the Euphrates. Tughril Beg's first significant move was to secure Baghdad, the heart of the Islamic world, which solidified the Seljuks' position as key players in the Middle East. Tughril's alliance with the Abbasid Caliphate brought legitimacy to Seljuk rule, making them the military and political backbone of the Islamic world. This relationship helped them control vast regions of Iran, Iraq, and even parts of Central Asia. The Seljuk Empire, under Tughril Beg and his successors, was not only a military powerhouse, but a hub of cultural and intellectual achievement. Scholars, architects, and poets flourished under Seljuk patronage, creating a golden age that would influence the entire Muslim world. The rise of the Seljuk Empire is a powerful reminder that history is shaped not only by the victories of great battles, but also by the cultural and intellectual transformations that follow. From the defeat at Manzikert to the establishment of a sprawling empire across the Middle East and Anatolia, the Seljuks reshaped the political landscape in ways that would echo through history for centuries. As we look back on their legacy, we see an empire that was not defined by sheer military strength, but by its ability to adapt, innovate, and integrate diverse cultures. The Seljuk Empire left an indelible mark on history, laying the foundation for the rise of the Ottoman Empire, the spread of Islamic culture, and the eventual shaping of modern-day Turkey. Join us next time on Legacy of History, where we explore the golden age of the Seljuk Empire, an era marked by unparalleled cultural achievements, architectural marvels, and political power that would last for centuries.